on this side. So, customer complaint. This is actually one I already built for a guy, and they installed it. One of the real super common problems is breaking the tabs off the pumps, which we'll see in a little bit. But what I did notice when I first got it from Carl, who R&R'd it, is that the tabs are missing completely. So it's obviously what happened. Hopefully it won't damage the back side of the pump, but we'll find out once I tear it down. So this is the 5.3 liter, and this is an 09, so it's got the reluctor wheel on it on this particular tranny, and they managed to get it all dirty in 100 miles. So the big difference is this one actually went 100 miles before the tabs broke. So probably what happened is when they got the converter in, it snapped them a little or cracked them, and so it drove for a while before it totally broke them off. So we'll get with Carl, and we'll when he goes to install it, we'll film a little bit of that, especially for guys doing it on their back. And that's when you get into trouble with this moving around and the converter coming off of the tabs. You go to stab it back in and it has problems. But we'll explain all that in a different video. And in the meantime, I'll tear this down, pull the pump out. It looks like it's in focus. So I pulled this apart right quick, and it's smoked. So that's probably because they did get some miles on it, and it stinks. So this is pretty good debris. Make sure that's in focus of some sort. Yeah.
I think it's in focus.
This is focus here. The outer ring. There you go.
Yeah.
So it should stay in pretty much focus. So, unfortunately, usually I can leave all this on. I take this out. I take the reluctor that comes disconnected, usually relatively easily. And then I disconnect here. And I would take this off and take out my converter clutch solenoid out, and then pull it out. But since this is obviously got some pretty rough burned stuff, I'm going to go ahead and tear the whole thing down. And there's going to be some clutches to replace, probably 3/4, because they were in high gear when I think it went out. So, bummer deal, man, but we'll get to the pump here in a little bit. So it helps to have a really good pump puller for these. These have a tendency to hang up on the band, especially the reverse drum. Reverse input drum gets hung up on the stator, so I usually use this magnet to try and help pull the stop out. Helps a little. That was pretty stubborn. That's not going to come out. Alright, I'll just pull it out. And I get stuck on the stator there. Damn it. There we go. That wasn't so bad. Let's get to the pump here right away. So it looks like I see one tab in there. So they might have broke one tab and didn't get the other one. But what happens is it'll pop off. Moves over to the side, and then it just comes out completely. So when he told me about it, I first told him to go check the oil while it's not running, and then start it, well, check it with it not running and see where it is on the stick. It's usually way above, you know, the norm, because it hasn't pulled any oil down. So then you go and start the vehicle, and you go check your oil again. And if it doesn't go down, well, that means your pump's not working. pretty much the only reason that would do that. So we'll see what kind of damage we got here. Oh, there you go. It's pretty tore up. What are you doing here? There you go. Yeah, can you go up? Okay. So I'll start from here. And so we can see that this broke pretty good actually, even though I saw the tabs. There's the tab. There's one tab. Here's the other tab. So this, I'm amazed this actually went anywhere. So let's take a look here and see if there's any damage. There's a little something there. Pull back on it a little bit. Oh, looky here. Got one of the veins jammed into the...
Ooh.
Oh, wow, that doesn't want to come out of there. Yeah, okay, you can pull back a little bit. So, this got jacked up pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and it looks like, I don't know, I'm going to pull this off. The rest of the surface here is actually okay. There's one little thing here, and I got to see what's going on here. That may...
It looks like it's actually jammed in.
Yeah.
It actually cut into it.
It did a little, yeah. Wow, that's interesting. I haven't seen that before. So, this is what happened. Well, I'm amazed they said they got about 100 miles out of it. That's pretty amazing. And it didn't, wow, look at that. It just pulled back on a little bit. Tore up, come this way up a little bit more. Well, this is kind of way worse than I've seen before. And so what I'll buy is I'm going to inspect this a little closer, but it doesn't look like this got too damaged. The surfaces, which are aluminum, and all of this is replaceable, and of course the vane and the spacer and all of these things are replaceable. So there you go. And then the next video I'll do will involve how we install it, or how Carl installs it. There we go. Eek. Wow, that got jammed. I'm going to have to check that out a little closer, but I don't think that really hurt anything. Oh, that's funny. Well, there you go. This is why gotta have a little experience when you put these things in. I will say Fords can be really bad too. They're just divots. I'd have to show you one to tell you what I mean by that. But anyway, this is what goes on a lot, unfortunately, with these. Wow. I'm surprised it didn't do more damage than it did. That's actually pretty livable. Alright, I'll cut that.
There we go.
A little better focus. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just noticed that this hub piece is broken as well. We took the spring out. But this all comes in the kit actually. Wow, this got pretty little violent break here. Pull back. Yeah. So the thing is, the problem is she was driving it, and that's actually what smoked this up. So we'll pull the clutches out. This is the reverse input drum, and the 3/4 drum is here. And we'll pull that out later and see what kind of damage it did. It smoked them up, I'm sure. There was a lot of black in that pan, as you saw. Alright, that's good. So I tore down the 3/4 drum, which I thought was going to be burned up, and it wasn't. I mean, these are dark, but they're not burned at all. But what was burned were the direct drum, which is part of your second gear, second and third gear. So I got pretty roasted here. I think I'm going to actually change out the steels as well. Some of them got pretty warm. And that probably happened when it stopped providing fluid pressure. So other than that, all this was new. Sprag's okay, it's just dirty, so we'll clean all that up. 3/4 is good. Coast clutches are actually okay as well. They're very thin clutches, but they're fine. And that's primarily it, actually, as far as any damage. So he lucked out better than I thought. I'll check below in reverse in the case after a bit, but I suspect they're okay, but we'll find out. That's it.